A woman's voice should not have a different value from a man's voice. Human beings should have their own voices.
A woman's voice means collectivity, leave no one behind. Human voice also means protection. Human voice means power.
The power that women have is that they have voice to say what is their wish.
So,
a woman's voice cannot be silenced.
We are not in the radar of conversation. As such, both Lord Lugard, Macpherson, and the early 60s Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria made minimal provision on participation of people with disabilities in governance. People with disabilities were not included, be it in government, development policies, or government response to issues that affect vulnerable population. People with disabilities were missing in the conversation. As such, we find ourselves in a Nigeria that has a history of discrimination, isolation, and stigmatization of these people with disabilities. We are not conscious enough on the implication of the documents that we are providing for all. As such, they created a vacuum that exposes women and girls with disabilities to harmful practices. Here in Lagos State, in 2011, we also succeeded in getting the then Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola's assent to Lagos State Special Purpose Law, which prohibits discrimination and harmful practices against people with disabilities in this country. So I can tell you that with these legal frameworks, women and girls with disabilities has been provided with a form of instrument. There are some civil society groups that still believe that women and organizations that are representing women and girls with disabilities should not be part of the discussions around women issues in this country. So women are clamoring for 35% affirmative action. And we say in this 35%, could you please give 5% to women and girls with disabilities? The flame. So policymakers discriminate organizations that are working for people with disabilities in Nigeria. I don't want to call names of what we've seen. A woman in Alawasa who is a parliamentarian, who is a member of the House of Assembly, once invited us for a meeting. The moment she noticed that we are organization of people with disabilities and we are people with disabilities, the meeting was fixed by his PA, by her PA. By the time she noticed we are people with disabilities and people with disabilities themselves are the people who are coming, she denied us audience. Our situation is too hard to accept. But that is the situation we find ourselves in Africa. That our cultural practices, our traditional beliefs tends to give impression that having a girl child or a woman with disability is a cost to the family. As such, it triggers resentment, discrimination, isolation, and other harmful practices against the individual or the family as a whole. The issues that we identify as critical to women with disabilities has to do with deep-rooted violence, sexual and gender-based violence. Their own issues are what we call double jeopardy by reason of being a woman, which is a gender issue, being a person with disabilities. If the person is from the other minority groups like ethnicity or religion, the situation of the individual as a woman will multiply. They also suffer minimal access. Access to public toilet is a critical concern to women and girls with disabilities. If a girl with disabilities cannot guarantee her access to public toilet, her chances of sustaining education and other vocational training is limited due to her inability to access these places. Unlike a man with disability or a boy with disability who can easily make do of other, ways of, using a public toilet. But to a girl and a woman with disability, their situation is complicated. These are key issues we've discovered in our work that hinders or affects women and girls with disabilities from participating in the society on an equal basis.